Okay. So how do we help you homeschool? So na-discuss ko na briefly. And I tried to shorten everything. So how do we help you homeschool? So this is where we come in. Okay, so first and foremost, we of course help you, assist you in the DepEd enrollment of your child para meron po silang records. So that's the first component. Kasi if you just independently homeschool, for example, although it's good, you have to take the qualifying exam, or hindi talaga kayo nag-guide din kung ano yung nasaan na yung anak ninyo, kung in terms of the standard set by the state. So yun yung first component. We help you make sure that you have the records necessary for you to apply for college later on, for your child to apply to college hanggang grade 12 kasi. Or if you're going to transfer, you still have the records para smooth po yung transition nyo if you are transition homeschooling. So yung mga iba po, teacher, I want to be very honest. I'm going to enroll in your homeschool right now, and then next school year, ita-transfer ko po siya sa face-to-face. Okay, so I really hope though that you are able to adjust in this very short school year. Kasi nga po, katulad po ng kwento namin, hindi po enough yung isang school year to actually adjust if you've been indoctrinated by school for all of your life. Okay? But then here, that's where we come in. We want to help you, whether you are going to stay for 1 year or you're going to stay for life. No, I mean until grade 12. We're here to help you. Okay, the first feature is our vault-in classes. Okay, so what are vault-in classes? Bakit namin siya pinangalanan? Meron akong pinost na history bakit namin tinawag na vault-in to eh. Kasi fan kami ni Voltis 5. Nakikita na yung kung gaano katanda na si Teacher Len. Okay, so, but what are vault-in classes? Vault-in classes are thoughtful classes designed to support homeschool learners grow in goodness and greatness. I already discussed what goodness means. Character, leadership, all the good things and beautiful things in life. And greatness, academic excellence, scholastic pursuit. Ayan. So yun yung objective ng vault-in classes. So we do goodness on Mondays and greatness on Fridays, usually around between 1 to 5 p.m. We tackle mostly, growth mindset and anything related to growth mindset. Some good habits that we feel that your children should, be able to start, or bad habits that they should undo, and all things in between. So like, for example, critical thinking, science, not the academic kind, just the for science for curiosity, environmental concerns, sports, kung ano man po yung maging available na resource speakers natin. Dati kasi madami ako, mas maganda sana kapag magkaroon tayo ng variety ngayon. So, the Monday vote-ins are usually for these particular topics. For growth mindset, we've had, things like, these are our old posters. We talked about resilience, the difference between the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, mga ganyan, pinag-usapan namin yun. And then we also try to look for shows and documentaries that would uplift, the spirit of our children, especially nung time ng pandemic na nagkaroon ng mga mental health issues yung mga bata dahil hindi nga makalabas. So binibigyan namin sila ng mga iba-ibang mga insights dun sa mga situations and how to respond to melancholy or negative thoughts. Kasama yun sa mental health. So that's all part of the goodness vote-ins. We also want to emphasize habits. So we've had this series before, 7 Habits of Happily Homeschool Leaders. So we talked about why habits matter, how to be in charge of yourself, your emotions, your moods, things that you can control, things you cannot control, acceptance of things that you cannot control. We also had this discussions on priorities and goal setting and so on. So ito yung mga mga webinar events for the kids. And all those in between, madami pa. I think it's best that we heard from the children themselves. Our student council officers, kay President Gab, BP Luis, Iya, Okay, so yung mga officers namin na nasa audience right now, sila mismo yung nag-describe sa newsletter kung ano yung Volt-in. So it's straight from their experience, and these are the things that they wrote. Okay, so they learned how to um, give importance to technology and use it properly by becoming more digitally literate. They learned to take care of the planet Earth because it's the only home we got. Wala tayong second planet. Well, at least not right now. And so on. So, sila mismo yung naka-realize, okay, when they talk to other homeschoolers, the benefits or the things that they learn when they joined these Volt-in classes. For this coming school year, we're going to add another dimension to our Volt-in. So we used to do Volt-ins only once a week, but now we're going to do it 2 to 3 times a week. Yung third time, mas madalamang mga club learning events. But for Fridays, we're going to do academic support. We call it our academic Volt-in. So we started this summer, sunubukan namin yung math diagnostic assessment. Basically, what this does is we give them a non-graded environment testing activity, and then whatever mistakes or errors that they have, they just ask the teacher, and it's really just using testing to learn. So kaya siya effective kasi hindi yung ay baka hindi sila matatakot na mag-take nung test dahil hindi naman siya graded. It's really just meant to find out if they are familiar with the concept supposedly of all grade 7 or all grade 3s, mga ganyan. At other science topics that we've had, our planet, our future, so naka-integrate yung goodness and greatness dyan kasi may environmental environmental component at the same time science component yung learning series. This learning series is actually very crucial to a major decision that we had for this coming school year kasi we were supposed to print study books with quarterly tests, but because of this series na-realize namin na if we're advocating for more trees and less paper, it would defeat the purpose, the advocacy na magturo kami ng ganito tapos bigla kami magpiprint at magbebenta ng libro. So we decided to turn all our books into ebooks and give them away for free to our enrolled families. I'm going to discuss that a little bit later. So we also had these Volt-ins for writing, but me being a writing teacher, so I teach how to write stories, essays, sentence writing, ano pa ba, burger paragraph, ang paborito ng mga bata, and all those. We also have, of course, these components to celebrate our nationality. So we also had a session to talk about the meaning of our national anthem, yung luwalhati pagsinta. I mean, just that word luwalhati, ano ba ibig sabihin yan? It means glorious, so we wanted to emphasize that, and we had all of those celebrations as well. All of these were Volt-in classes. Okay, and we also have Volt-in classes with parents. So meron tayong mga zooming in. So we did the House of Deschooling Homeschool. So we have those recorded somewhere in there, and we're going to have siguro an updated versions of them kasi integrate natin yung mga bago na nilabas din ni DepEd, which we tried to do in the Homeschool Revolution. So basically what we want is, we are reframing education in a way na nagko-comply pa rin tayo sa DepEd, but at the same time, we're trying to give an education that would be functional, practical, and very useful to our children, especially since we are preparing them for a future na hindi pa natin alam kung anong klaseng future. Kasi they said, in so many studies, the jobs that we are preparing our kids for don't exist yet. So ano yung pinaka-importante na maituro natin sa mga anak natin na kahit na anong trabaho, kahit na anong klaseng mundo meron sila later on, medyo maski papano ay future strong sila. Diba? So yun yung kaya nga we dwell into the goodness, yung character talaga, character growth, and of course the greatness na meron silang tools to learn something new every time. Adaptable, resilient, and of course they have to have grit. So yun yung sinusubukan po namin na i-integrate dito sa aming mga vaulting classes and even in our meetings, parents, kasi kayo po muna eh. Kaya tayo nagkukwentuhan ngayon kasi kayo po talaga muna yung magkakaroon ng realization, self-improvement, self-growth for you to be able to homeschool your own children. Okay, so let's talk about the learning guide. Kasi ano po yung ibibigay nyo sa amin? Ano po yung curriculum? Okay, so curriculum simply means these are the subjects, the topics that you're going to learn and study for a certain period of time. So in this case, yung curriculum ninyo ay para sa isang buong school year. And what we did was we simplified it into a learning guide and we are actually improving it and updating it. Thank you, Teacher Ray. So, tsaka yung mga research buddies ko from si Teacher March from Assumption, maraming salamat. And all of those other people, nameless people na nagbibigay din ng input sa mga evaluation copies ng mga to be published na mga DepEd-aligned books. They've been very, very helpful. Okay, so the learning guide looks like this. So nakahati na po siya into 4 quarters. Now, where does the flexibility come in? Okay, so you can see there the topics, kunyari grade 1. Now, minsan, yung mga grade 1 natin, kunyari grade 1, 6 years old na, 5 years old pala, natapos na niya mga nouns and common nouns na yan. So, sometimes we don't have to parang kasi yung mga textbook, kapag bumili kayo ng textbook, parang ulit ng ulit. Pag alam na po niya, pwede nyo na siyang mas maigsi yung bibigyan nyo na time, just for review, or you can skip it altogether. Na kapag hindi naman niya alam, you can actually spend more time. So that's where the flexibility comes in. So parang teacher, pag natapos na namin yung quarter 1, ang haba pa ng oras, hindi punta na po kayo sa quarter 2. Paano teacher, di pa po kami tapos sa quarter 1, pero magsasabit na ng grades. Then employ the bookmarking technique. You just provide the grades. Natapos nyo po sa quarter na to, and then just continue. So that's how flexible it is. Okay, so here are some examples, other examples of the quarterly learning guide. So grade 2 math, grade 3 science, ganyan lang po yung magiging itsura niya. So na-review po namin yan, may mga binago na po kami. And the good news is, kasi usually yung grade 7 to 12 po namin, yung learning competencies po yung binibigyan namin dahil there is an assumption na mas self-directed na sila tsaka independent learner na sila. But apparently, some, kapag hindi po talaga nasanay, kailangan pa talaga na i-feed. And so what we did was, we also, Teacher Ray, thank you, we also came up with a quarterly study guide of topics na ganito din po yung itsura para mas madali pong sundan. Ayan po. So, yan, quarter 1, yan po. So, pag meron kami niyan, teacher, ano po yung gagamitin namin na pang-aral? You have Google. You have textbooks that you can purchase from any store or secondhand kung saan man. Right now, information, lessons, resources are everywhere. So, that's why we always maintain the statement that we don't require specific textbooks. Hindi po, kapag sinabi po namin yung tuition na yan, tuition na po yan ng lahat, hindi po yan, iba po yung presyo, meron po kayong babayarang textbooks, meron po kayong babayaran na ganito. Yun na po yun. Okay, lahat ng mga iba pa, parati pong optional na lang. Okay, so you can have all of these topics. You can do, say for example, this is grade 7 math, you can do khanacademy.com. That's a free resource and then you can use that to study these different topics. Or you can choose to purchase textbooks as well. Ngayon, kapag meron kang textbook, tas meron na siyang table of contents, so pwede mong, you don't have to consult this quarterly learning guide of topics. You can just go straight to the book. It's really up to you. That's where the flexibility comes in. Okay, so what are the ebooks and e-learning materials? Ayan, so ito rin updated po. Especially for those of you who have been enrolled with us for this past year, mayroon po tayong mga bago po na mga editions and at the same time bagong covers ng books. Okay, so for preschool, again, yan yung po yung mga resources na makikita po ninyo sa learning management system, which is basically your Google Classroom. Hindi po tayo kasi yung typical na ODL. So your Google Classroom is actually your mini library, and you will have all of those well researched and selected books that you can use to teach your children. Hindi tayo yung, marami kasi nagbebenta, nakikita ko sa Facebook ng 299 all kids books. Alam niyo, pag nagsinubukan yung, tinignan ko po minsan may nakita ko na mami na bumili. Ang dami-dami, nakalulula. Yun na yung nakaka-overwhelm tuloy. Kasi sa dami, uy, ang dami, ang ganda. Ang dami. Mas nagiging problema po. Kasi po, yung mga iba, low quality, yung mga iba, repetitive, redundant, ayan. So, ito pong magiging library ninyo, yung mini library ninyo sa Google Classroom, selected na po yung mga ebooks na gagamitin po ninyo. So, you can find your quarterly learning guide of topics there. Okay, so again, still updating. So you will have them before August 8 kapag sa mga naka-enroll sa amin. Of course, for preschool, they have the developmental phonics. So both the teaching ebooks for the sounds, at the same time reading books that would support or supplement the learning of those phonemic sound. I mean of those phonic sounds. So yung phonemic awareness na address na dito. And one thing that we also added here for this coming school year is the Big Skills series. So makikita nyo yung cover mamaya. Extensive books are different story books. Or pag sinabi mo kasi extensive books, these are selection of books for reading pleasure. So again, nagdagdag po kami ng mga titles for this coming school year para po madami po kayong pwede pagpilian kung ano yung gustong i-browse or basahin ng anak ninyo. Ano lang po, you can allow your child to read on screen. Bilhan nyo na lang po sila ng salamin na parang anti-glare. Or yung iba pwede nyo naman pong i-print yung mga ibang pages. Activity sheets, we usually give them to complement vault-in classes. So ito po yung dinagdag namin the Big Skills series. So I know my alphabet, I know my numbers. Yan. So ganyan po yung mga makikita po ninyo sa Google Classroom po ng preschool. So naka-differentiate din po yan. So iba po yung set for the nursery, iba po yung set for the pre-kinder, at iba po yung set para sa kinder. The kinder is the year before grade 1. Yung po yung dapat 5 years old po yung anak po ninyo on or before October 31. Okay, grade school, ito po yung pinaka updated sa lahat ng grade levels, because ito yung sabi namin yung grade 1 to 6, ito dapat yung i-sell, ipiprint and i-sell yung book, but we're giving it to you for free. So again, you will still have your quarterly learning guide of topics in your Google Classroom, and the ebooks plus quarter tests, and e-reference books and extensive books, again, updated versions of them. Meron ba akong kopya dito? I think ito po yung kunyari mathematics grade 1. This is our ebook na po. At ito yung study booklet po na kinikwento po namin sa inyo. Ito po yung content niya. So hiwalay na po yung quarter 1, quarter 2. At ito po yung mga sample pages po na nasa loob. You can choose to print some of the pages para pag gusto nyo magsulat po yung anak po ninyo. Ito naman po yung pang grade 2. So see, it looks like that. You will have all of these for free po dun sa inyo pong learning management system. Kaya thank you po yan. Tagal po namin ginawa yan, 2 years. Ayun po. So ang dami pong mga teachers, but you know, it's so worth it and we're so happy. Kasi po pagdating ng grade school, ito na po yung start ng scholastic pursuit ng mga anak natin. Preschool po talaga maraming laro. Pero pagdating ng mga yan, grade 2, nagsa-start na sila magkaroon ng structure, and we want to give all of these to you. So, English, Filipino, yung araling panlipunan, di pa talaga matapos. And science, you will have all of them. Okay, sample pages po. Ayan. Tapos meron na pong kasama na quarter tests. Ayan po. So, ito yung sample page ng isang quarter test. So, nandyan na po yung mga pwede nyo po palang i-customize yung quarterly test. Kasi depende po sa anak po ninyo. Baka mas advanced siya. Pwede nyo pong dagdagan yung questions. Or pag nahihirapan siya, pwede nyo pong dalian pa o baguhin ng konti yung mga questions. But you will have them. At least meron na po kayong peg and you're not starting from scratch. So, ayan po yung quarterly test. Tapos, ayan, parang sample pages pa rin ng quarterly test. Naka-Word file lang po yan para pwede nyo po siyang i-edit. Microsoft Word lang po siya. Okay, ito po yung answer key. Ayan, so naka-code na rin po. So Teacher Emily, if you're in the audience, thank you so much. You know, she's been very helpful in creating the quarterly test for math and science. Okay. Tapos yan sa junior high school naman. Okay, so since sa junior high school, grade 7 na po yung anak natin, dapat mas self-directed na siya. So we still have the quarterly learning guide of topics like I showed you earlier, and they have their e-study materials then. So another feature that we're adding now is meron po silang pre-test and post-test. So thank you, Teacher Ray. Meron kami mga kinonsult na even engineers to help us with the answer key. So may answer key na po yung mga test. And of course, you have the usual e-reference books, extensive books, etc. Ayan po. So ito po yung sample ng e-study material. Ayan po, meron po silang pre-assessment. Okay. Yes po, customizable talaga po siya, TM Lu. Ayan, so may pre-assessment, tapos meron po siyang post-assessment. So in between the pre-assessment and post-assessment, nandun po sa loob yung mga lessons and some guidance, at meron pong mga quizzes, mini quizzes po sa loob ng e-study material. This is, by the way, from DepEd and PEAC. Nilagyan lang po namin ng konting revision at konting editing para po mas maging user-friendly at very practical and useful to our children. Ayan. Ayan, madali lang po. Talagang yung 2 years po namin, learning curve po talaga, Mami Cassie. Ang dami po naming natutunan at we really work so hard, and we hope that we can help you as much as we can. Ayan. So senior high school naman, di po ako nakapaglagay kasi hindi ko ma-screenshot yung mga ibang mga gamit kasi nagpapaalam pa po ako. Same lang po yung senior high school, but the thing is, pagdating sa senior high school, talagang para lang po kasi siyang college. So may mga reading materials na po kami na mga dinagdag po dito. And most of the reading materials, we want to really emphasize college and career preparedness. Aside from those materials kasi, we are committing to giving more sessions that would help motivate and help our senior high schoolers explore their possibilities. Medyo na po to talagang sila na po talaga nag-aaral dapat mag-isa. So we included so many e-reference books, so many books for self-growth and self-improvement. Okay, aside from, of course, in the fillable grading form, nandun na po yung mga topics, okay? And then we're going to also ask our partner school for the prospectus, especially for those who are coming in as grade 12 na po sa Victorious Homeschool. And we hope that we can make our Victorious High, especially for the senior high school, more active. Konti lang po kasi talaga naging enrollees po natin in the past for the senior high school. So we hope to build a greater community of students who would really help each other with mentoring and coaching sessions po. Ayan. So let's talk about our calendar. Hindi pa kami tapos actually, pero meron na po kaming August, September. I'm going to show you the calendar, the school calendar briefly, yung sinabit po namin sa DepEd, and after the review, bibigyan po tayo ng certificate of eligibility, and we're so thankful for the kahit papaano po for the support and the encouragement ng Department of Education. Hindi po dapat natin tignan na kaiba or negatively yung mga nangyayari. I think it's really just a matter of trying to understand how we can make it work kasi pare-pareho naman po tayo ng objective. Our objective is to provide the best education that would prepare our kids. So we just have to learn to work with DepEd. We have to comply with everything that they would request or they would mandate. So ito po yung ating August calendar, and we're going to share these in your Google Classrooms. Don't worry, before August 8 po nakalagay po itong mga details na to sa inyong mga emails. and our communication platforms. So August 8, we're going to start with the student orientation. So August 15, magkakaroon po tayo ng repeat ng create your own website. Kasi po, dun na po yung magiging submission bin natin ng mga kung ano-ano para hindi po masyadong, para mabilis po lang yung yung pagsilip. Hindi pa rin naman kami masyadong nagbibigay ng, we don't have the typical very serious portfolio review, no? It's basically sharing of your children's outputs and activities so that we can inspire each other and we can also get ideas from each other, share ideas with each other. August 22, we have the mental and physical health kasi kailangan po natin yan, lalo ngayon na kung ano po nangyayari. And August 29, this is the input of Teacher Ray kasi National Heroes Day, so we're going to have a very enjoyable day of watching We Can Be Heroes. Okay, Fridays, getting to know each other, isang session po yon. And then August 19, we will have the Watawat sa Gisag ng Bansa, Teacher NJ, okay, calling you for this. And August 26, we're going to talk about the science of food and the digestive system. Kasi kagabit yan, when we did the mental and physical health, we want to be more specific in the different ways food and our body functions can actually affect our mental and psychological well-being. And then on September, in September, ayan, so di ko alam kung bakit may student orientation pa doon. Hindi po yan. Mali po yan. Mas mag-focus kayo doon sa Fridays. Hindi ko pa nabago yung Mondays. Yung Fridays po, we're going to have the great sessions. Okay, so this is gentle review with exams and tests. Okay, so with our foray last summer kasi nakita namin na so many kids actually benefited from the non-graded environment of testing. So, ulitin po namin yan. Magpo-focus kami sa English grammar, reading comprehension, Filipino grammar. Basically, this is the Grammarilla na side-by-side, magkakaroon tayo ng malambing na paghahambing ng lahat ng iba't ibang bahagi ng pananalita, especially those who are treating Filipino as a second language. So, napaka-useful po nito. Actually, when I had a similar class like this, yung mga naging students ko na high school who were not very adept with the Filipino language appreciated it kasi dun sa mga naging college entrance exams nila nung 2018, 2019 to, may yung mga basic na mga bahagi ng pananalita lumabas pala sa mga college entrance exams. So it's all good. Maganda yan na kahit na anong level magkakaroon sila ng familiarization with the structure of the language, both in English and Filipino. Okay, by the way, being good in English does not make you any less of a Filipino. Pero, maganda na, magaling din sila or marunong sila, maski papano sa wikang Filipino. Okay, ito po yung kinikwento ko po na calendar na sinabmit po natin sa DepEd. Thank you, Doc Marlu and Ma'am Joy of Hillcrest School. Shout out to you if you're there. So, ito po yung bibigyan po namin kayo ng kopya. May mga i-revise lang kami ng konti kasi magmi-meeting pa po kami ng ating mga parent leaders, advisors, and teachers kasi na-busy kasi ang dami pong transferring in, transferring out, returning from 2019, 2020, and all those in between. For those of you who know me well, alam niyo po yung mga naging mga challenges, but we will overcome all of them, okay, by God's grace. Ayan po yung second grading period. So meron na tayong schedule hanggang sa ngayon lang kami super organized. Meron na ngang schedule for moving up. Tapos nakita na namin yung mga paano namin iiwasan na yung mga naging mistakes namin, so we are very thankful for parents who have been very supportive and very understanding. Hindi po talaga magiging perpekto ang lahat, but we are so thankful for their graciousness. And for some parents who are also messaging me for suggestions, I really value them. Maraming salamat po sa mga suggestions nyo at sa mga feedback po ninyo. We are always learning and we commit to improving our homeschool support more. Ayan, ito po yung aming homeschool advisors. Hindi pa po 100% nagbigay sa akin ng commitment ang mga parent teachers. But no, actually, more or less ito na po yon. And we will also have academic, we call them our weekend warrior teachers. Kasi po, we have invited some licensed private school and public school teachers to join us, especially in the gentle diagnostics, yung ating grade sessions. Maganda rin po kapag may ibang mga teachers na nagtuturo bukod po sa akin at sa amin mga nandito po sa Victorious Homeschool. So ito po yung mga homeschool advisors nyo. Don't worry, you don't have to take a screenshot because we're going to share all of these in your Google Classroom and in your emails. Para po kasama po yung kanilang mga contact details, and if whenever you have concerns or issues, you have people to go to listen to your problems po, and would be ready to assist you. So again, on behalf of these people, so on behalf of Teacher Ray, Teacher JM, Teacher Joy Mendoza po yan, Teacher Christine, Teacher Allison, Teacher NJ, Teacher Lay, bago din po namin kasama, si Teacher Faith, of course, si Teacher Gail, si Teacher Alet, of course, Teacher Hazel. Alam ko na naging busy ka sa ginagawa mo, but you're still with us no matter what. Of course, Teacher Amber, Teacher Gazelle, Teacher Larcy, mamaya magkwento ka. Hindi na kita nakausap. Ang dami ko po kausap kanina. And of course, me. So sa SPED po yan, it's not yet formally launched. We have what you call the Good and Great Brains community page. And we're going to be joined by My Child's Place behavioral therapist headed by Malu Santiago. Of course, Teacher Larcy will also be there. Teacher Gazelle, by the way, is a licensed, registered nutritionist and dietitian who could help parents who have special needs children come up with, diets that would help in the symptoms of, say, for example, autism and brain fogginess and all that. So, yun po yung meron po akong naging bagong background. Mas pinaka-recent ko yan yung aking background on handling special needs children, because madami po kasi sa ating mga parents ang kailangan po niyan. So, yun naman ang response namin parate. How can we help? Yan po. Okay po, so yun lang po actually yung ating orientation for today. Ano ba to? Isa-summarize sa dami kasi. Ayan, so from here, for those who are going to homeschool with us, magkakaroon po tayo ng level orientation. So like for example, iba po kasi yung grading system ng preschool, iba po yung grading system ng grade 1 to 6, iba rin po sa junior high school, iba po sa senior high school. So magkakaroon po na tayo ng separate orientation for the nitty-gritty. How to use the Google Classroom, Teacher Amber will discuss that later on with you. Mag-schedule po tayo. How to use the fillable grading form as well. Ano pa? And then the different clubs will be discussed on August 8 during the student orientation. Magbibigay din po na instruction doon how you can sign up. Ano pa ba? Yun lang naman po halos ngayon. For now, this is what we basically do here in Victorious Homeschool. And so many of you called, messaged, and asked how to really homeschool. I don't know how others homeschool, but this is homeschooling for us. Homeschooling means that you have the true freedom to take charge, control, expand, and customize your child's education while spending more time with them and, building more memories together. Ayan po. So thank you so much for joining us today. We are open for your questions.